Yo, what's going on, guys? Estee McCrawly coming with another video. Today, I had some more double battles using the Mega Altaria team that I made. It's been a while since I've uploaded. I've been having some difficulty getting some battles. I've been excited for Sun and Moon, but I just haven't put in the effort. But I'll try and finish up this week strong with this Mega Altaria team, and the next week I'll have at least one new team, possibly two. I might have a singles and a doubles team. I'm not exactly sure yet. It just depends on how creative my mind can be. But let's get started with the first battle. My opponent had a team of Ferrothorn, Gothitelle, Salamence, Sylveon, Blaziken, and Swampert. So he had a lot of Pokemon that were 4 times weak to one thing. Ferrothorn's 4 times weak to fire, Salamence is 4 times weak to ice, and Swampert is 4 times weak to grass. I was honestly thinking he was going to bring the Swampert to this one, just because I don't have any grass type moves, and his Swampert walls a decent amount of my team pretty well, but he decided not to bring it. The one thing that I did see here is with the Gothitelle, it can no Frisk, but another more common ability that it runs is Shadow Tag. So a lot of times what people will do is they'll bring Shadow Tag and then they'll bring a Pokemon that can set up, and then they'll have like a favorable matchup, and then they'll just set up and you can't switch out. So the only Pokemon he really could set up with here is Sylveon and possibly the Salamence. He could be going for Dragon Dances with the Salamence. So with my lead, I have to keep that in mind. And with the Pokemon I bring, I also have to keep that in mind. Just because with the Shadow Tag, it could end up being a pretty scary matchup. So let's go ahead and get started. And I lead with Tauros Rotom because I feel like it's a pretty safe lead. I was expecting him to bring or lead with the Blaziken right here, but the Gothitelle isn't too big of a problem for me, just because with Tauros and everything. But he ends up just flat out switching out the Blaziken. I just go for an Earthquake here; it's a safe thing. But I didn't predict this. This was actually a really good play by my opponent. Switching out the Salamence and getting that Intimidate off, that's going to be pretty big against this Tauros. It's not too offensive to begin. I mean, it's offensive, but it's not that strong to begin with. So if I wish I haven't battled, so I'm kind of out of it. If I would have predicted that, I could have gone for Hidden Power Ice in that slot, and I would have just floored my opponent. I go for the safe Shadow Ball here. Based on that damage, I figure this thing is probably Assault Vest, just because of how little that did. I don't know how good its base special defense is, but I just figured, okay, well, we're not doing too much damage to this Gothitelle. So Blaziken's going to come back in. That's another good play with my opponent. I wasn't predicting the switch back out. But now that the Intimidate's off, this Blaziken's a lot safer. So I went for the Rock Slide, predicting the Salamence to stay in. And I go for the Hidden Power Ice. I don't know if he was looking for that Hidden Power Ice or what. But if I should have just gone for the safer Thunderbolt. But oh well, I go for another Rock Slide here just in case. I'm like, it's the safer play. I'm fast. I could get a flinch. But he does get the superpower off, and that's going to be enough to knock out Tauros. So I was hoping maybe I'd be able to hang on so the next turn I could get an Endeavor off. But not the case, not that big of a deal. Because now his Blaziken's at -1 attack and defense. So, and we do see it is Life Orb, so that's good information to confirm. And I just go for the safe Thunderbolt into that slot, and we're able to pick up the knockout on Blaziken, and that's really nice. It's not going to damage the rest of my team too much, but you see, his Psychic does nothing to my Rotom. I bring in Klefki here. I'm predicting him to go back into the Salamence, and sure enough, he does. And Klefki just has a good matchup here anyways, especially since that Gothitelle is a special attacker. I could set up the potential light screen, depending on how things go. So he's going to switch out Salamence, which is a good idea since there's not much his Salamence can do. He doesn't know if I have a Fairy-type move either. So here we see the Sylveon, and I'm like, okay, well, this is the potential setup Pokemon that we see. So I went for the Thunder Wave into the Gothitelle because I was predicting a Protect from the Salamence. That's why you see the Hidden Power Ice, just to cover both my bases. So that Hidden Power Ice does not do much, and we do get a full Paralysis on the Gothitelle. So that's really nice. I set up the light screen here since these are both special attackers. I don't want to take Hyper Voice with Rotom. I mean, Rotom in this position is going to be able to live forever pretty much. So I get the safe Shadow Ball. I want to knock out this Gothitelle just in case I need to switch out for whatever reason. There we see the Calm Mind Suite. Okay, it's a setup. Sylveon. So that's kind of the Pokemon I have to worry about right now. And he sets up a Trick Room here. I'm like, oh, so this thing is an Assault Vest. Interesting. It's a big problem. Like the thing, you might be asking why I'm Thunderwaving his Pokemon if Trick Room's up, but I just want the 25% chance of him not being able to attack. So here's another Psychic. I go from 103 to 86. I did 17 damage. And here we see another Calm Mind. So in this position, I'm pretty comfortable because in the back I have Infernape. So if I get some decent damage off on the Sylveon, I can bring in Infernape and potentially knock out the Sylveon. I assume a Flare Blitz would do like 50%. This thing's most likely Bold Nature, and then it's just going to be setting up Calm Minds, so that's where its Special Attack and Special Defense are going to come from. So here we see the Salamence. The Intimidate here is useless, and I actually wasn't even expecting this Mega Evolution. I was like, oh yeah, he hasn't Mega Evolved yet. So we're going to see the Mega Salamence come out. He does go for Protect, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I just didn't want to risk like a Double Edge into Rotom or some other move. I mean, it still wouldn't do that much, but Rotom isn't that defensive physically. And this Sylveon's still setting up, so it's not doing too much to me at the moment. Like I said, with Light Screen, I feel pretty safe with these two Pokemon. So I went for the Foul Play, Hidden Power Ice. I'm pretty confident that's going to be enough to knock this thing out. Foul Play does a decent amount. It's about 33%. And then the Hidden Power Ice, and I was like, maybe it's not. So he does hang on with just a sliver of health. And here we see the Draco Meteor. And I was like, so obviously into the Rotom. But I was like, let's see how much this is going to do. I go from 86 to 59. That did less than 30 HP. So Rotom just eating attacks for days. And here I was predicting the Protect, but I couldn't risk not going for Protect. We get a double paralysis here on the Sylveon. That's really nice. At this point, or it's just limiting his ability to do damage to me. So here I go for the Thunderbolt just to get some damage off, and then here I went for the Foul Play into the Salamence. So I get another Light Screen off. Like I said, that's going to be the most important thing because this Sylveon's obviously setting up on the special side. So Rotom's going to go down, but that's fine. Because the Salamence is going to go down the recoil. So now it's a 2v1 that we've got, which puts me in a really nice position. So we get another turn of paralysis on the Sylveon. Absolutely fantastic. And here I bring in Infernape. I go for the Fake Out. Like I said, this thing's most likely Bold. So I don't know how much, and based on how much damage that Fake Out did, I didn't think Flare Blitz would be able to knock him out at this point. So I go for it anyways. Hoping I get some damage, or hoping that I'd be able to knock it out, but it just brings him down the red. That brings him down to about like 10% health. And I'm like, Foul Play is not going to do that much. It might do like 1%, 1 or 2%. And we see Rest, and I'm like, oh, fantastic. And I was thinking, have we seen an item on this thing yet? Because it might be Chestoberry. So, and sure enough, it is Chestoberry, so that pretty much confirms it. It is Bold Nature. It's just the setup Sylveon. So, but here I'm like, okay, well, this is actually really nice because I have Encore, so I can just lock him into Rest. And essentially, right there, I win the game because I can just keep on Encoring him, and I can run down my Fake Outs, whatever I want, and he's just going to eventually struggle. So he ends up forfeiting, which in that position, I feel like forfeit's necessary since I'm sure he didn't want to waste 5-10 minutes of his time just going through that. So that's just one of those strategies where Encore. That's one of the reasons why I like Encore. It just breaks apart things like that, especially setup Pokemon, or even Kangaskhan. If a Kangaskhan goes for Fake Out, you can go for Encore the next turn. It'll be stuck in Fake Out. Or even any Pokemon that goes for Protect, you can just lock it in the Protect, and then it's pretty much going to be useless. So, Infernape coming up big there. The Sylveon, like this team, doesn't have too much to deal with Fairy type Pokemon. I mean, Steel type. Our only Steel type is a support Pokemon that doesn't even carry a Steel type move, and we have no Poison types. So, I guess the better answer would have been Tauros, but Tauros was already knocked out. So that's why I was thinking maybe the Sylveon would start, since that would, or I was expecting either the Sylveon or the Salamence to start, because that would be like a setup Pokemon with the Gothitelle. But anyways, we really pick up the W thanks to Infernape and his Encore. So we're going to move on to the next battle. Another interesting team for you guys. My opponent had a team of Meowstic, Chatot, Infernape, Smeargle, Weavile, and Aerodactyl. So, Chatot, I don't know if I think I have seen it here on the battle spot on doubles. If not, I've seen it in single. His signature move, Chatter, is kind of like No Guard, or not No Guard, excuse me, like Dynamic Punch, where it does damage and it always confuses. And it's Chatot's signature move. So I don't know what kind of cheese this guy. I mean, when you see teams like this, you're like, he's got to be cheesing in some fashion. So you see the Smeargle there, and you're like, okay, he's definitely cheesing. So here I'm like, Altaria is good because nothing on his team resists Hyper Voice. So that's gonna be really nice. And he doesn't really have any tanky Pokemon either, so that's another sign that he's just gonna be cheesing in some fashion. And he's got a prankster user. I mean, I could just tear apart this team and just show that he's cheesing. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. I start Infernape Tauros just because of the Smeargle. I need that fake out. I was expecting like Meowstic Smeargle or something, or Infernape Smeargle or Weavile Smeargle so that he'd have his own fake out. So that's why I also bring the Tauros. Turn 1, he's just gonna go for the double protect. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. He might be probably just scouting out and also burning the fake out. So here I'm like, okay. Obviously, he didn't want to. He might have a Focus Sash. And here I'm like, what the heck? What item activates at the end? We see his Meowstic is holding a Sticky Barb. So here he uses Assist, and he gets lucky enough to get Dark Void from the Smeargle. So in case you guys don't know what Assist does, is it takes one of the moves from one other Pokemon in your party and it uses it. So he doesn't get to choose; it's just random, and he gets Dark Void. And he gets the double connect. Luckily, Tauros is holding the Lumberry. I wasn't even expecting that, to be honest. But I get a Rock Slide off, getting damage and hoping for a flinch. So and we do see the Chatter. And interestingly enough, he goes for the Chatter into the Tauros, which really surprised me. I was like, why didn't he just go straight up for the knockout onto the Infernape? But no complaints here. We're going to see he's going to take some more damage from the Sticky Barb. So here, his Chatot's going to protect, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm still going for Rock Smash. Or Rock Slide, excuse me. And here we see a Trick. I'm like, okay. Who's he changing items with? And he decides the Tauros, so just because Tauros is alive, he probably wants to get that residual damage off. And I just, like I said, I went for the Rock Slide. Here I'm like, I'm getting damage off on both. So, and here with Infernape, there's no need to really knock out the Chatot. This Meowstic is the one that can cheese me, especially with the assist to get another Dark Void. So potentially has Psychic as well. So I just pick up the knockout and boom. I was actually surprised that it lived. It must have been max defense. I don't know. I was really surprised it lives. Luckily we got that burn to pick up the knockout. And even so, he would have had to go for assist again and get another Dark Void because both my Pokemon outspeed his. So here I go for return onto Infernape. Decent damage, and I'm like, his Infernape's got assist too? Are you kidding me, man? And what do you know? He gets Dark Void again. He gets Dark Void again. And here I'm like, okay, his Smeargle must only have one move. It must be Choice Scarf with Dark Void, and that's why he has a higher chance of getting it. So that's what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm like, this thing's definitely, when it comes in, it's going to go for a Choice Scarf, Dark Void as well. You got to be kidding me, man. So luckily he chatters the Infernape this time, and Infernape fell asleep, and Tauros stayed awake. So I'm still in good position. So here I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting a low health with this Sticky Barb. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any tanks that I could endeavor to bring down to 29 HP. But I'm going to Mega Evolve here with Altaria. I'm in a good position. I mean, I can Rock Slide Hyper Voice right here. It's really safe. And I'm going to... so here he protects with Chatot. So he's just letting his Infernape go down. He went for Feint, so his priority move. He didn't even knock me out, and he gets the crit, so he can't complain about that. The Rock Slide is gonna miss the Chatot, and it's not gonna pick up the knockout on Infernape either. But Hyper Voice is there. It's gonna be a spread move, double knockout, and we're gonna see the Smeargle is gonna be his last Pokemon. And here I'm like, okay, well this one should be over because he shouldn't have anything besides Dark Void, and he should be Choice Scarf. So I end up going down to the Sticky Barb, and I'm like, he's got Destiny Bond too. So I was like, okay, so he's got like all these cheese moves with his Smeargle, and then the assist is gonna pick up one of these cheese moves or something. So you see, Chatter does nothing to Rotom. It's just him, just like a different form of swagger, and his Chatot's just barely gonna hold on. So here I go for the double target into, or no, I just want to take out the Chatot. Just because, like I said, I thought that it was a Choice Scarf Dark Void Smeargle. So I get my Hyper Voice off, just a single target Hyper Voice, and that's going to be an easy knockout in the Smeargle. Not even Focus Sash, so it was most likely a Choice Scarf, like I assumed. Just no, it just had at least one other move besides Dark Void. So a nice team, but both my opponents had interesting teams, maybe less common methods of winning with the what's it called, the Gothitelle and its what's it called, Shadow Tag. I don't know if I said so. But its ability, I believe it's Shadow Tag, prevents you from escaping. So as soon as I forgot to mention this, but as soon as I started that battle, I went to my first Pokemon and tried to swap it out instead. I don't remember what my first Pokemon is. It was like, but this Pokemon cannot be switched out. I'm like, okay, so I did confirm it did have Shadow Tag. That was it's like one of the most important things you can do. And then in that second one, he had Lucky Man with that double assist. He got Dark Void both times. But if it's in the game, I guess it's a legitimate strategy. It relies more on luck. But I guess this mirror also did have Destiny Bond, but there were other moves. I'm not going to get into it, but I had fun, to be honest. These battles were run right after another, so I was like, you gotta be kidding me, I'm getting cheese all day today. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the battles as much as I did. Like I said, I'm going to try and get an upload every day for the end of the week, and then I'm going to be make at least one new team with a new Mega. Sun Moon's getting close, so I don't know if we'll see any new Megas in that one, but I'm still going to be using some new Megas. There's some Megas I don't know too much about, some that people don't consider too good, but I mean, I still make a team using them. But yeah, if you guys get any suggestions for me, go ahead and let me know. If you want to battle me, also go ahead and let me know. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.